Hey everyone, welcome to the English Speaking Show. I am Jake.
And I am Ella. So glad you are here with us today.
Ella, what are you up to these days? Anything new going on?
Actually, yes, I am learning Spanish.
Really? I did not know that about you.
I know, a little already, but I am taking proper classes now. My teacher is great.
Wait, you just used two completely different tenses right there.
Did you catch them?
You said, I know a little, and then I'm taking classes now. Same conversation, two different tenses.
One describes something that is generally true about me. One describes something temporary that is happening in my life right now.
And both came out completely naturally. I did not even notice until I heard them side by side.
That is exactly the point. Your instinct already knows when to use each one. Today, we make that instinct conscious, so you can always choose deliberately, not just by feel.
Present simple and present continuous, two tenses that confuse almost every learner at some point.
By the end of today, they will not confuse you anymore. And there are 3 surprises inside these tenses that even strong learners do not expect.
3 surprises. I am already nervous.
You should be. Let us start with one simple question. Is this permanent or is this temporary?
That is the whole system in one question.
Start with present simple. Present simple is for anything that is permanent, habitual, or always true.
Like, I live in London. I work in marketing. She speaks 3 languages.
Exactly. Those are permanent facts about a person. They are not happening right now at this moment. They are just true, always true. So, present simple.
And routines fall into the same category.
They do. I check my emails every morning. She goes to the gym on Mondays. They meet every Thursday. These things happen regularly, on a schedule. Present simple.
So, permanent situations and regular habits both take the simple form.
And one more, general facts that are always true. Water boils at 100 degrees. The sun rises in the east. These are not habits. They are just facts about the world.
And fixed schedules, too. The train leaves at 8 p.m. The meeting starts at 10.
Yes, a timetable is a permanent fact. The schedule does not change. So even though the train is leaving in the future, you use present simple because the schedule is fixed.
I would never have thought of a timetable as a permanent fact, but it makes sense.
Now, one thing learners often get wrong with present simple, when you talk about he, she, or it, the verb needs an S at the end.
She work in the bank.
She works. He go to the office every day.
He goes. I always forget that one.
Everyone does it first. She works. He goes. It starts at 10. The S is small, but it matters.
Now, I want to tell you about a mistake I made in a job interview because it is directly connected to this.
Tell them.
The interviewer asked me, "So what do you do?" And I panicked and said, "I am doing marketing."
Oh no.
The interviewer paused just for a second, but I felt it, and I did not know what I had done wrong until after the interview.
What do you do is asking about your permanent job, your career identity, so the answer needs present simple.
I do marketing. I work in marketing. Those are the correct answers because marketing is my permanent job, not something I happen to be doing right now at this specific moment.
I am doing marketing sounds like you are currently carrying out a marketing task right now, not that it is your profession.
And the worst part, I still got the job, but I think about that pause every time someone asks me what I do.
That pause. Everyone knows that pause. And this is one of the most common errors in professional introductions globally. The instinct to use continuous when you want to sound more active, but for your job, your identity, always simple.
Now, can we see how this works in a real situation?
Yes. Role play. We are at a professional networking event. We are meeting new people for the first time. I will be someone you are meeting. You introduce yourself.
Ready.
Hi there. I do not think we have met. I am Ella.
Hi, Ella. I'm Jake. Nice to meet you.
So, what do you do, Jake?
I am doing project management. I work with tech companies mainly.
Oh, interesting. And are you based here in the city?
I am, yes. I work from the office most days, but I'm working from home this month while they renovate the building.
Oh, I know that feeling. What kind of projects are you working on at the moment?
Mainly a large system migration for a client. It is taking longer than expected, but we are getting there.
Well, it was great to meet you, Jake.
You too, Ella.
Okay, let us talk about what happened in that conversation.
I made the same error again. I said, I am doing project management when she asked what I do.
Your permanent job needs present simple. I do project management. Or I work in project management. That is your identity. That is always true.
But then, I work from the office most days. That was correct.
Perfect. That is a routine. Most days, present simple.
And I am working from home this month, also correct.
Temporary. This month only, present continuous. And I am working on a large project, also continuous. That specific project is a current temporary activity, not a permanent fact about you.
So in one conversation, simple for the permanent job, simple for the routine, and continuous for the temporary situation.
Exactly. And it all comes back to one question. Is this permanent or is this temporary?
If it's always true or it's your routine, use the simple form. If it's happening now or it's temporary, use the continuous form. And for feelings and thoughts, always simple, never continuous.
Hold that last part. Feelings and thoughts, always simple. That's where the continuous surprises everyone, and that's where we are going next.
So, present continuous. I always thought it just meant something happening right now, like I am eating, I am working, I'm talking to you.
That is the most common use, yes. Something in progress at this exact moment. I am working on a report right now. She is cooking dinner. Listen, the birds are singing.
Right now, at this moment. Present continuous.
But the continuous does 3 other things that most learners never expect. And the first one connects directly to what we just covered, temporary situations.
Like my working from home this month.
Exactly. Not permanent, not a routine, just happening for a limited time. I am living with friends this month. She is taking an online course these days. He is covering for a colleague this week.
So the continuous does not just mean right now at this second. It means right now in my life, even if I'm not doing it at this exact moment.
That is a really important distinction. I am reading a great book does not mean I am reading it right now as I speak. It means it is my current temporary activity. I am in the middle of it.
That actually changes how I think about it completely.
And this is where the permanent versus temporary contrast becomes really clear. I live in London, permanent. I am living in London for a few months, temporary. I will leave.
Same verb, same city. Completely different meaning depending on the tense.
And the tense tells the listener everything. Is this your home forever, or are you passing through?
Now, surprise number 1.
Developing trends, things that are gradually changing over time. The climate is changing. Prices are rising this year. More companies are working remotely.
I would never have used continuous for that. I would have said prices rise.
Prices rise as a general fact, like a scientific statement, but prices are rising means it is happening right now. It's an ongoing trend we can observe today. The continuous signals this is in motion. It is not finished. It's still developing.
Okay, surprise number 2.
This one surprises everyone. Present continuous plus always or constantly or forever can express emotion about a repeated habit.
I always lose my keys. That's just a fact about me.
Neutral, no emotion, present simple. But I'm always losing my keys. That's frustration. That's annoyance. That's I can't believe I keep doing this.
Same habit, same verb, but the continuous adds how I feel about it.
He's always leaving the lights on. She's constantly arriving late. I'm forever forgetting my password. All of them carry emotion, irritation, exasperation, complaint.
And it can work the other way too, not just annoyance.
Yes, she's always helping people without being asked. That's admiration. My grandmother is always cooking something delicious. That's warmth. The emotion depends on the context and the tone, but the continuous adds the feeling. The simple just states the fact.
That is genuinely surprising. I had no idea the tense could carry emotion like that.
And surprise number 3, present continuous for confirmed future arrangements.
Future? A present tense for the future?
When a plan is already confirmed, when you have already arranged it with someone, already booked it, already committed to it, you use the continuous. I am meeting John at 3 p.m. tomorrow. We are flying to London next month. She is starting her new job on Monday.
But those are future events. Why does the present tense describe them?
Because the arrangement exists now. The plan is already real right now. You have already committed. The present continuous says this is already in motion.
So, I am flying to London next month because I already have the ticket.
Exactly. And I will fly to London next month would be more of a general intention, not yet confirmed. The continuous signals this is locked in.
Now, you said earlier, feelings and thoughts always use simple, never continuous. Why?
Some verbs describe states, not actions. A state has no beginning and no end. It just exists. And because it has no beginning and end, it cannot be in progress, so it cannot use the continuous form.
Which verbs?
The big ones: know, understand, believe, think when it means opinion, agree, and feelings: love, like, hate, prefer, want, need, and possession: have when it means own, belong.
So, I am knowing the answer wrong.
I know the answer, always. I am understanding, wrong. I understand. I am believing you, wrong. I believe you.
And I am wanting a coffee wrong.
I want a coffee. These are states. They simply exist. They are not in progress.
But some of these verbs do something tricky, right? Have is one of them.
Yes, have is the most important one. Have as possession, state, always simple. She has a car. He has a house. I have 2 cats.
But they are having dinner, that is correct.
Because having dinner is an activity, not possession. Same verb, completely different meaning. And that meaning tells you which form to use.
Think works the same way.
Exactly. I think it is a good idea. Opinion, state, simple. But I am thinking about changing jobs, active consideration, that's a process happening right now, continuous.
And see.
I see the problem. I perceive it. I understand it. State, simple. But I am seeing a doctor tomorrow. I have an appointment. Action, continuous.
I made a mistake with this not long ago. A colleague message situation.
Tell them.
I was messaging a colleague during a busy period. I wrote, I think about changing my approach to this project. And she replied, oh, interesting. What are you thinking?
Because I think about something means you consider it from time to time, a recurring general thought, like a habit.
But I meant I am actively considering it right now at this moment. I should have written, I am thinking about changing my approach.
One word changed the entire meaning of the message, and they had a confusing exchange before sorting it out.
And it felt so similar. Think about versus thinking about. The difference is tiny, but the meaning is completely different.
Now, there's something I want to say about state verbs, because learners often feel embarrassed about this.
About what?
About saying things like, I'm loving this, or I'm hating every minute of it. Teachers correct it. Textbooks say it is wrong. Love is a state verb. It should always be simple.
But people say it all the time.
Constantly. And the McDonald's slogan, I'm loving it, is one of the most recognized phrases in the world. In casual conversation, using a state verb in the continuous adds emphasis. It makes the feeling stronger and more immediate. I'm loving this weather feels more alive than I love this weather.
So it is not wrong?
In formal writing, avoid it. In professional emails, avoid it. But in everyday spoken English, native speakers do it all the time, and it's completely natural. If you've been saying, "I'm loving this" in conversation, you have nothing to feel embarrassed about. Your instinct was right.
That's genuinely a relief. I have definitely said that and then second-guessed myself.
And this connects to something worth mentioning. If you have watched our episode on present perfect versus present perfect continuous, you'll recognize the same logic. Completed result versus ongoing process. Simple versus continuous. The same permanent and temporary idea runs through all the present tenses in English. The link to that episode is in the description.
Now, can we hear all of this in a real conversation?
Yes. Role play 2. This one is personal. I'm calling you for a catch-up. You haven't spoken in a while. I'll call you. You answer.
Ready.
Jake, finally, how are you?
Ella, so good to hear from you. I'm always forgetting to call people. I'm really sorry.
No, you're not. You always forget. There's a difference.
Fair. How are things with you?
Good. I'm taking Spanish classes these days. Really enjoying them.
Oh, I know a bit of Spanish. Not much, just the basics.
How's work?
Busy. I'm working on a big project at the moment. Usually I manage 2 or 3 smaller ones, but this one is taking all my time.
And how are you feeling about it?
Honestly, I am knowing it will be fine. I just need more time.
I know it will be fine. Know is a state verb, always simple.
Right. I know it will be fine. I keep doing that.
You do, but you are getting better.
Good. Let us pull out the key moments from that conversation. I am always forgetting to call. That was the annoyance use, adding emotion to a repeated habit.
You always forget. The neutral version, same habit, no emotion, present simple.
I am working on a big project at the moment. Temporary current situation, continuous.
Usually I manage 2 or 3 smaller ones. Routine, always true, simple.
And I am knowing it will be fine. Wrong. Know is a state. It simply exists. It cannot be in progress.
I know it will be fine. Always simple. Now, 3 surprises in the quiz, and I promise at least one of them will catch you.
5 questions. Say your answer out loud before we give it. And some of these have a surprise, so do not assume there is only one correct answer.
Question 1. Which is correct? A. She works as a nurse. B. She is working as a nurse.
The answer, both are correct, but they mean completely different things.
She works as a nurse. Nursing is her permanent career. That is her identity. That is what she does.
She is working as a nurse. She is doing nursing right now, possibly temporarily. Perhaps she trained for something else and is doing this for now.
The tense tells the listener everything about whether the situation is permanent or temporary. Both sentences are correct. The meaning changes with the tense.
Question 2. Fill the blank. The conference blank at 9 a.m. tomorrow. A. Starts. B. Is starting.
The answer is A. Starts. The conference starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
This is a fixed timetable, a schedule that does not change. That is a permanent fact. So, present simple.
If you said is starting, that would suggest a personal confirmed arrangement, like you already have your ticket and you are attending. But for the timetable itself, always simple.
Starts at 9, every time.
Question 3, and this is the surprise. Which sentence adds emotion? A. I always lose my keys. B. I am always losing my keys.
Both are correct, but B adds emotion. A is a neutral statement of fact, just a habit, no feeling attached.
B is a complaint. I am always losing my keys, says, and I am not happy about it. The continuous adds the feeling. The simple just states the fact.
Same habit, same verb. The tense carries the emotion.
And if you've been saying, I am always forgetting, or I am always losing, and wondered whether it was correct, it absolutely is. You were adding emotion deliberately. Your instinct was right.
And if this episode is helping you, please subscribe. We put out new episodes every week, and we would love to see you back.
Question 4. Your colleague asks, "What are you doing these days?" Your answer, "I blank on a new project. A. Work. B. Am working."
The answer is B. I am working on a new project. These days is your signal. It points to something current and temporary, not a permanent routine. So, present continuous is the right choice. If you said, "I work on a new project," that sounds like a permanent, ongoing role. Like project work is always what you do. But these days tells us it is current and temporary.
Signal words are a shortcut to the right tense. These days, continuous. Every day, simple. At the moment, continuous. Usually, simple.
Question 5, and this is the one that surprises people. Which is correct? A. I am knowing the answer. B. I know the answer. C. Both are correct in casual speech.
The answer is B. I know the answer, always.
Know is a state verb. It describes something that simply exists in your mind. It has no beginning and no end. It cannot be in progress, so it cannot use the continuous form.
Now C. Some state verbs, love, hate, and joy, do appear in the continuous in casual spoken English. I am loving this. Native speakers say it constantly. In everyday conversation, that is completely natural.
But know is different. I am knowing is never natural, even in casual speech. Some state verbs cross into casual continuous. Know never does.
The safe rule B. I know, she knows, they know. Always simple, no exceptions.
Now your turn to use both tenses yourself. Before we finish, something worth saying. At the very start, you said, "I know a little Spanish," and "I am taking classes now." You did not think about it. Both tenses just came out right.
The instinct was already there. Today, we just made it conscious.
So one final time, clearly.
Is this permanent or is this temporary? That is the question that unlocks everything.
Always true or habitual. Simple. I work in marketing. I check emails every morning. The train leaves at 8.
Happening now or temporary, continuous. I am working on a big project. I am living with friends this month.
State verbs. Know, understand, believe, love, want. Always simple. They cannot be in progress.
But have as an activity, they are having dinner, continuous. Think as active consideration, I am thinking about changing jobs, continuous. The meaning tells you which form.
The central rule.
If it is always true or it is your routine, use the simple form. If it is happening now or it is temporary, use the continuous form. And for feelings and thoughts, always simple, never continuous.
Your comment challenge. 2 sentences. 1 present simple, 1 present continuous. Both true about your life right now.
Mine, I live in a city I love, and I am thinking about making some changes. Just thinking for now.
Mine, I work in a job I enjoy, and I'm working on something new that I cannot talk about yet.
Write yours in the comments. We read every single one.
And if this episode helped, please subscribe. New episodes every week. Real English for real life.
Thank you for being here. See you in the next one.
Take care, everyone.